What is up, everybody? Mark on the mic. My good friend, Mr. Ryan Muckenhirn, across from me. Yes, Ryan, my good friend. And from our product development team, Mr. Luke Roberts. And this is a new product alert. Gentlemen, well, yeah, you guys know, there is a new Everyman's Riflescope series in town, and it is the Crossfire HD. This is, I'm excited about this.
Pretty jazzed.
And when I say every man, I mean every man. We're talking like every model. We've got a wide variety of magnification ranges, configurations, some specialized models we're going to talk about, a ton of new reticles, and some, I'd say some very notable features. This is like I said, I'm pumped, man. This is cool. Luke, what's going on? What's the scoop? What's the background on this series, the Crossfire HD Riflescope series?
Yeah, so our current Crossfire 2s are very popular in demand riflescope. That, like you said, it's a good riflescope line for hunters, and there's so many different applications that these can work for. So we really wanted to provide the customers with an upgrade to that, and still keeping some of the core tendencies the same. Generous eye relief, wide field of view on these things, but then also still providing an option for every hunter in different scenarios. Whether you're hunting in some thick bush up in the UP or some wide open plains, you can have that option in the Crossfire line. So we wanted to keep that true, keep all the different options for every hunter out there, every shooter out there. But then do some noticeable upgrades and some improved features for everybody.
Yeah, let's talk about the optics. I mean, these things are for looking through, right? What's going on there?
Yeah, so we improved the optical design, optical system altogether there. So it's definitely be a noticeable difference for everybody. You're going to have better light transmission, better color on the optics, overall better design. So that's definitely probably one of the first things that people will notice when they look through these.
Yeah, for sure. Going through some of the configurations and models, and I want to get to some of these new reticles as well, but we've got a bunch on the table. We have a bunch, I guess you could say, like semi behind us. We have the boxes stacked up. At first it was the leaning tower of Crossfire HDs, but we got her straightened out a little bit. That looks pretty darn good.
We had to kind of kick it back to accommodate the curve.
Yes,
but it looks good now. Don't hit the table.
At the at the base of our food pyramid of riflescopes here, we've got a 6 to 18 by 50, a 4 to 12 by 42, 44. Practice my reading. 3 to 9 by 40, 2 to 7 by 32, 1 to 4 by 24, and a 1.5 to 5.5 by 32 scout scope. Number one, if you got a rifle, we got a scope to put on it in this series. And why don't we start with the that 6 to 18 by 50? That's the most magnification of the bunch, and this one also exemplifies, I'd say, a lot of the features that you can find within the series. So let's talk about that. What's this thing got for the consumer?
Yeah, so this is going to be one of your mid to long range hunting riflescopes here. So it's one of two in the Crossfire line that utilize the 30 millimeter scope tube. The big change here, too, compared to the Crossfire 2s, is the side parallax adjustment. So the other ones had the adjustable objective. That's a big change on this one here. And you're also going to have an illuminated option here as well with the deadhold illuminated 2A BDC, which is the deadhold BDC that everyone is used to, but it has that center dot that's illuminated and floating in there. The other option, reticle option in this one here too, is the wider range plex, which is similar to just a normal like duplex, V-plex reticle, but we've extended out that inner thinner portion so that when you are looking at that longer range, you have less obstruction of the reticle and you can see more finer detail about that thinner crosshair in there.
It's going to be a pretty trick reticle for the small game hunter, environmenter, or somebody who's looking for a very budget-minded, like a target scope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
air gunners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look at you talk about the side parallax that you'll see on this. I'd say traditionally that's a feature that you would see on, kind of your higher tier options. And it's really cool to see that integrated here. That, the illuminated deadhold 2A BDC, that's a cool reticle. I mean, when I look at that reticle, I think back to the original Viper HD 6.5 to 20, where, Ryan, you'll remember we had that target dot, that and we also had the V-Plex wide, right? Both of which just kind of did okay. And then I think ultimately we ended up dropping the price on them, and then everybody bought them and realized how awesome they were, and then everybody wanted them. But then we're like, well, we wish you would have wanted them before, because yes, they were awesome. But man, I look at this thing, and to me, it's just got a lot of what I'm looking for in a reticle, particularly, like you said, for long range varminting.
That's
like
a wide plex right there. A wide range plex.
No, but I'd say like
it's a dead hold.
Oh, okay.
It's the dead hold 2A. But
so,
I mean, you can see like you have a pretty fine.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
And I mean, there was a big undertaking between MPD and marketing a few years ago when we started this project of getting customer feedback and listening to what people wanted. And a big part of that was side parallax and illuminated reticles. So we wanted to make sure that we captured both of those in here. And really, we took a lot of that feedback that we got from all the different customers and groups we spoke to and tried to implement that as many rifle scopes as we could here. But that's really where the side parallax came from, and then having the illuminated options as well.
Mm-hmm. And all the illuminated options, they are that center dot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So every single rifle scope, every magnification configuration will have a dead hold illuminated 2A BDC reticle option in it.
Gotcha. I mean, for me, in an illuminated reticle for hunting, all I'm looking for is that center point.
Yeah.
Yep. That's really cool.
And that was, I mean, as long as I've been here, coming up in 11 years here next month, the BDC, the standard dead hold BDC, is a wildly popular reticle. It has stood the test of time. It has forced models that we had in V-Plex into discontinuation just due to sales. The one request. Can it be illuminated? Here we are.
Yep. Now, we do have some V-Plex options available here, and I do think that they still have a very solid place in the marketplace. But to your point, Ryan, I mean, oftentimes we see the BDC versions just because you can use it essentially like you would a Plex reticle, but then you just have a little additional information.
You're not really losing anything.
Yeah.
You may not use it, but you're not losing it.
Did we go through the reticle options here?
Not yet.
Should we?
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
What maybe Luke, you might have them off the top of your head. I've got my cheat sheet here, but
so most of these will have the dead hold 2A. I know the Scout scope, the 1-4 will have that. We also have V-plexes and standard dead holds like you mentioned, and then the 4-12 and 6-18 will have that wide range plex that we also just talked about. Some of the more nuanced reticle options are going to be in the Crossfire 3-9, with that being a really popular configuration for Crossfire users especially, and for hunting in general. So that's going to have, same thing with the V-plex, the dead hold illuminated 2A. We're also going to have the straight wall BDC, which we've had previously. And then we're also going to add in the muzzleloader BDC reticle, which that one was a fun project to undertake as well. We purchased a bunch of muzzleloaders, a whole bunch of ammo, and shot a whole lot. Just trying to understand, if there's any consistencies between different loads, different, how we whether you want to use pellets or powder. So we really structured that to work for some of the more popular loads that we saw out there, and we can give those recommendations to the customers as well when they purchase this. But just really, to hopefully help people be able to buy a muzzleloader last minute. Say if you missed out on a buck during rifle season, go pick up a muzzleloader, pick up the Crossfire 3-9 with the muzzleloader BDC, and then we can tell you, here's the bullet you should use, here's what pellets you should use, and how to set up your gun, and should be able to really dial that in pretty quickly on the BDC.
That's cool, man. I mean, muzzleloaders really are so accurate these days. Like you said, you can use pellets. You can weigh your charges by weight, and you can really get consistent, predictable results. And having a reticle to be able to match that up with what your muzzleloader is doing is it's gonna extend your effective range and your confidence in the field for sure. Ryan, thoughts?
I'm very excited for this. It's always funny. I think this is any consumable product in line that you look at. A lot of times folks will start shopping. They're like, well, I know I don't want the entry level. And that's always been quizzical to me with even the original, I should say the Crossfire 2, which is what the HD is replacing. We sell more of the Crossfire 2s through the showroom, mount more of the Crossfire 2s in the showroom than any other optic. And we love them and we trust them. And everything that we loved and trusted about them, we have just simply elevated with the HD. And so on the consumer sales side of the house, as we're seeing these in, very rough draft prototype into white box and into like final production prototype samples, we're taking them to the range and we're testing them. The like excitement and fervor around them has been as high, if not higher, than a lot of other product launches that we've had in the past couple of years, because they're that good. And when Lucas came down and dropped off the samples, like the official, like, hey guys, do with these as you will samples, it literally immediately everybody just congregated at the cube at the center desk in my cube, ripping into the boxes, playing with them, looking at the reticles, stacking them up next to Vipers and stacking them up next to Diamondbacks and being like, oh my gosh, like what a value this is going to be. And guys are already starting to put their orders in like, oh, I'm putting this on this gun and I'm putting this on this gun, which is also pretty cool. I think a lot of people, especially folks that I chat with, everybody just assumes that I run razors on everything. And
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, logical assumption. Shoot a lot of Crossfires.
I mean, they assume that about me as well.
Which is true.
Correct.
Yeah. But
Brian, as I like to say, I've grown accustomed to a certain standard of living.
there are applications in which this is the better tool. And I'm so excited about it. I'm just jazzed.
I am. I mean, I jest, but it's easy to be super jazzed about something and legitimately and genuinely when you're like, it's like when I look at these, I'm like, it's kind of hard to believe. I'm like, I can't believe we're getting the optical performance and mechanical performance, at what would be our entry point, into the marketplace. And I always say like, number one, it doesn't behoove us to make a product our customers are going to be unsatisfied with.
Right.
Like that would go completely, against the Vortex ethos. Like that would be philosophically opposed to anything we would do.
Also bad business.
But I was, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
But like, yes, this is our entry point, but there's nothing entry level about these rifle scopes, in my opinion. And just what a person can get for their dollar value wise today is pretty darn astounding.
Yeah. And there's a couple within the pack that I think I'm really quite excited for. The 1-4, because it's, I think, a very, very honest step in the direction of a true hunting low-powered variable, which has been very tricky to navigate, right? LPVOs for hunting, there's like a cult following. Folks get it, at least in the States and Europe, they're quite popular. And now, like, there's no ambiguity here. It's not an AR scope. It can definitely be put on an AR. You want to go shoot a multi-gun competition with it, and you don't have $500 to $700 to buy an LPVO to do it, you are immediately competitive. But if you've got Henry Big Boy, a Marlin 1895, slide action Remington and 35 Remington, and you want a low-powered variable because that is going to be the best tool for the job, this thing is spectacular. The Scout scope, which I'm not a Scout person, I don't own a Scout rifle. I won't own a Scout rifle. There is a certain appreciation for that optic from our customer base. By golly, we move a fair amount of them. And the other one, the Crossfire 2 variant, was really popular. This is going to be even better yet. We picked up even more usable eye relief because we've had people talking about putting these on pistols. And we've had customers put them on pistols, and they've done so very successfully. We had a gentleman who's got a handful of Contender and Encore pistols, just got back from Africa this past spring, sent us a slew of photographs of him hunting everything up to Cape Buffalo with them. And this is going to double down on that. I'm pretty excited about that. And then the 3-9, the bread and butter. I think I'm so so pleased with how that turned out. And speaking previously to the versatility within that line, whether it's reticle options that we've added with the illumination, for instance, or in the eclectic versions with the caliber specific stuff for the muzzle loaders and for the straight well cartridges. That is the Swiss Army knife in the line. Everybody knows that I'm crazy about that 3-9, 2-10 magnification pocket. Nailed it.
It's interesting to me, and a testament to that configuration.
Yeah.
By and large, when I started my hunting career, I had a 3-9.
Yeah.
You could start your hunting career, and I'm saying doing a lot of different things. You could be hunting out west, you could do stuff in Alaska, and you could end your career with a 3-9.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's funny because it's like I'm not going to say it's the oldest variable magnification range, but it has been around forever. And we do this, and other friends and competitors of ours in the industry do it. Like, we see the mag ranges ebb and flow. And we see erector systems go from 3x to 4x to 5x to 6x to 10x. And we see these fun decimal places put in the magnification designations. Yet 3-9, it's just there. You know what it is. It's a known entity. It's going to treat you right. Quote Mark Boardman, there's no flies on that. and it's going to be slick. I'm also really happy to see side parallax adjustment incorporated as standard. Not that AOs are ineffective. AOs have and still will be, I think, for the better part of another half century, a very reliable and robust and economical way to do parallax amendment. Side parallax, arguably more convenient, certainly more modern, and here they are.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer it.
Yep, absolutely.
Going back to the Scout scope, though, eye relief, we're looking at a min of 9 inches and a max of 24 inches.
Yeah.
Between the 1.5 and 5 range there. You guys were even talking about a little bit of pistol use with it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we did at the samples that we mounted to some handguns and shot it, and had no problem with eye relief doing that. Another change that we made is that we shrunk down the diameter of the eyepiece so that it wouldn't interfere with anything. We can really get it low to the rail, whether it's a scout scope or on the handgun. But it works awesome on a handgun, and that's really what make it dual use, because I think a lot of people look at those extended eye relief scopes and they might want to throw it on a revolver or something like that. So being able to do both options now and decreasing that lower magnification down to 1.5 just makes it a little bit easier when you are bringing that scope up to really get your eye in that eye box there. So that's still going to have the BDC that's going to be illuminated.
I have an idea.
What's that?
You know how we keep talking about we're going to shoot all these whitetails with all these fun guns?
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, I bought that Magnum Research BFR, had it run through the custom shop. They dolled it all up.
It's the gun you shoot most often.
Yeah, the one that, that's what I should put on there.
You really should.
Go shoot a white-tailed deer with that.
I think it's a great idea.
I got like half a case of Barnes XPBs at home. Man.
That ought to do the trick.
I know it.
That'd be fun. Luke, I know you called out the 30 millimeter tube, like on that 6 to 18, but we have a mix. So depending on the model, you're going to find it with a 1 inch or a 30 millimeter tube. Maybe we covered that, but those 1 inch tubes, like we're going to find on the 3 to 9. A lot of guys, they already have rings for it. Maybe they're replacing a scope of similar configuration, and it's going to be nice just because I don't have to get a new set of rings or do something different there. So,
and that was based on the feedback as well. When we talked to people, where a lot of people are deer hunting with like their grandpa's gun, and that's going to have some old rings on there that you maybe don't want to replace. And 9 times out of 10, those are going to be 1 inch scope rings. So a lot of people felt it made sense to keep it at 1 inch. The only 30 millimeter scope tubes are going to be the 6 to 18 and the 1 to 4. Everything else is going to be that 1 inch.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say it could be, if you are transitioning to one of these scopes and the ring diameter is the same, it could be a good time to do an audit of the system and see if you likely can get away with what you have, but you may want to upgrade that, and just so you're kind of off to the races.
Fresh start.
Yeah. Ready for the season.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you can't hold on to those things that if they have sentimental value or something like that.
Right. I just want to jump back to the 1 to 4 too. You talked about, that's a really good hunting option. And I really think a lot of people, especially in the Midwest and probably the East Coast, could really benefit from hunting with an LPVO.
Oh, yeah.
I've been hunting for a couple of years now with LPVOs on my hunting rifles. I put this on my 300 Blackout last year.
Yep.
And I'm deer hunting in the UP and cedar swamps. So I have like a 50-yard shot max to see that buck walking through. And I think, even up to like a couple hundred yards, that LPVO is going to be perfect for you. You don't have to, you're not going to also pull your gun up and have a zoomed in image of a bark on a tree that you can't tell because it's just too magnified.
Yeah.
For a lot of instances in that thick brush, that's going to be the scope for you.
Yeah. For some reason, that quandary still exists with LPVO use and then big game hunting applications. In multi-gun, we were shooting LPVOs to 400, 500, sometimes 600 yards. And we're shooting 10, 12-inch plates or IPSC targets, like with boring regularity. But for whatever reason, in context, you slap it on your 300 Blackout. Is it a bolt gun?
Oh, it's AR.
Okay, gas gun. Or a lever action or whatever. Folks are like, it's not the case. Do it. It'll change your life.
Well, and it's not. And I think there are a constituent of folks out there that, I'll speak to, like the Wisconsin firearm season here. I know actually a fair amount of people that they're sitting for like the first 2 hours of the day. And then after that, it's deer drive time.
Yep.
And so you got to ask yourself, what is going to be the most optimal scope for how I intend to hunt? The ranges that I intend to be engaging deer at, as well as, potentially moving targets. So
I was with Pete on his first deer hunt, and he took a white-tailed deer at I won't disclose the distance, but it was a lofty shot. It'd be, for most people, further than they would ever take a white-tailed deer in their life, and then especially thinking about Wisconsin. That would have been what, 2 years ago?
He had a 1 to 6, yes.
That one.
Oh, really?
Yep. He was shooting my 16-inch Tika.
With a 1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Slam dunk.
Got him.
Yep.
That's cool.
It was cool.
I think this just shows that there's an option for any style of hunting you want to do with this here.
Yep.
Even with the rimfire options, there's a rimfire option in the 2 to 7 where the parallax is set down to 50 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, the rimfire guys and airgun guys, or even small game, are just in our thoughts, and we want to develop the 4 to 12 and 6 to 18 with having that parallax adjustment going down so low. So really, any hunter can use any of these scopes.
Quick note on the rimfire thing. This is a question that we get a lot.
Thank you. I was just about to go there.
A lot of folks will say, "Hey, it's a rimfire. Can I put it on like a 223?" And it's like, yeah, absolutely. The only difference between that optic and its non-rimfire counterpart is the parallax setting. Mechanically, they are the same. Optically, from at least the, optical, what do we call it, track perspective, identical, just parallax setting, 50 yards versus 100 or variable. So, that's it. You can mount them up. And in some cases, like especially if you are that hunter that is in tight country, and you want to run a 2 to 7, because you do maybe want a little bit more magnification, but you're more likely to have a shot that's 100 or less, super viable. Throw it on your .6.
Sure.
Yep.
No problems there.
Nope.
I'm trying to think. What else we got going on with this series? I feel like we've covered quite a bit of it.
I guess just to touch on, some of the accessories you get too. So the 1 to 4 is going to get these flip caps. Every other scope here is going to get a neoprene cover, which I have found really helpful when hunting, throwing your gun around in your truck or in the case and then taking it out in the morning, and having that sleeve on there, I think it really protects the scope. So all of these are getting that as well.
Yep. Which is huge value add. So folks are going to be pretty excited about that. They're classy looking too, but functional. That's the biggest thing.
Classy, functional, fast, and then once you remove it, it's not changing the form factor of the optic or where it's standing off of like your brow or something like that. So, I really like that. I generally carry one of those in my pack. If it's not raining or something like that, I'll be, running it just as is, but you get in a situation like, I'm going to slide this over the top, and they come off so quickly. Like, I've never felt like I was going to miss an opportunity by having it on. You just...
Certainly. No, the amount of time it takes to deploy one of them versus flip caps is not really different.
Not really.
No. And they don't go...
there's that too.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah.
This is fun. I'm genuinely excited about this Riflescope series, and I think folks out there and our customers are really going to enjoy it. And like I said, if they got a firearm, there's likely a Crossfire that's going to fit the bill to be the perfect match for it. And performance,
I want to say something.
they're impressive. Please.
Okay. So
Proceed.
From our seat, and I've said this before on this production, we love working with NPD so much because it's obvious when a project like this is not something that's done overnight. I don't recall how long you guys have been working on Crossfire HD. It's been 3 years? And that's when you let us know about it. And so by that time, I don't know what kind of runway you guys have already built. If you're sketching out configurations, if you're starting to do, optical optimization, et cetera, et cetera. And the feedback that we're feeding you guys and you bringing them out to us and saying like, okay, do your worst. And we beat the tar out of them. We break them. We look through them and say, this must change, this must change, this must stay the same. And then to see that an entry-level product gets 3+ years of care and development put into it, I think is pretty neat because it's the entry-level product.
Absolutely.
And when I look at my team and I see those guys get just backflips excited about the entry-level optic, that's heartwarming.
Well, if you remember how instrumental your team was when, like that 3 years ago when we first started kind of trying to figure out what these scopes should be. We were up on the balcony. Yeah. You guys were coming up in different time shifts, and we were looking at like 20 scopes. Yeah. And just trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what what this should be. And then, every sample iteration kept getting, team members to come up there and look at that stuff. And I think it really helped get these to the point that they are. Yeah, it is just neat to see. Like I said, I think about some like stuff we have upcoming that we can't talk about yet, and then stuff that we've launched recently where it's like it's an alpha class product, and like everybody's proud. Like the trumpet is blaring, and electric guitar sounds are flowing. The same thing occurs at this level, which is I just love it. So,
well, I think you get two different things there. Like when you get in that just those top tier alpha class, just all the things, right? Of course you're excited about that, right? But when you're able to cram these types of features and performance into, what I would consider like I said, our entry point, and I'm just reiterating what you said, but it's like it's the same level of excitement, but just kind of like in a different way.
It is, yeah, because we're just when somebody walks in the front door, when somebody walks into the retailer or picks up the phone or writes an email, and they're like, I am brand new at this, whether it's a young person, whether it's an older person, and they're like, or they're approaching us for the first time. We have zero trepidation saying, hey, at your budget or for your use or for your, situation, this is the best foot forward. I promise you it's not worth spending more money. And to say that with confidence, oh man, that makes our job so easy.
Like, yeah, on the other end of the spectrum, it's kind of like, that's incredibly impressive, but it better be doing that because of the price tag that's carrying.
Oh, yeah.
On this end, it's like, I can't believe you did that. So, cool stuff, guys. And like you said, Ryan, the confidence that you guys have, you inspire with the series is, you can recommend them wholeheartedly, and the person go out in the field with confidence and do what they need to do, and it's good stuff.
Groovy.
I don't know, let's get some. We got all these scopes here. Let's mount them up on something.
Let's get some guns.
I'm in. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Like I said, this is a new product alert, the Crossfire HD, the new Crossfire HD Riflescope series. Check them out at your retailer. I do not think you'll be disappointed. I think you'll be only impressed. And happy hunting, shooting. Hopefully, we'll see you out there. Bye, everybody.
See ya.